Hey everyone, Mark PORPILIA with Hockey Ministries International, bringing you a video chapel with Beau O out of Tucson, Arizona, as he chaplains the Tucson Roadrunners. Beau's bringing us a word out of John chapter 14, and this is sort of the beginning of Jesus' final talk to the guys before he's about to go to the cross. They probably really don't know what's coming, and so he's giving them one last pep talk before this all goes down. And Beau's just got a couple verses just to give us a hint as to how we should be living in troubled times. And I think in the summer of 2020, we can say that no matter what, these are troubling times. No matter how you slice it, Jesus has the answer for us, as of course he would.
Hey, this is Chaplain Beau Willett out in Tucson, Arizona, saying hi to you guys. This short chapel time is going to be in John chapter 14. And it says there, this is Jesus speaking, "Let not your heart be troubled. Trust in God, trust also in me." So this is a chapel time of faith, trusting in God. You know, the disciples were a small band of interesting dudes that hung out with Jesus. And these weren't the saints that you think of. These guys were all over the place. And when Jesus talked to them about his mission on this planet, about going to the cross of everything, and he was going to die on that cross, they did not like that. They did not understand it, and they were scared about it. And it's always scary when you're around violence. It's a very scary thing. I remember growing up and seeing violence in my home at times and seeing violence in the neighborhood, and I remember just how impactful it was on me. And it's such a scary thing to go through, because it's not a controlled violence, right? Like in hockey, it's kind of controlled, man. But when it becomes uncontrolled, like back in the fights in the 70s maybe, then it gets a little nerve-wracking. You never know what's going to happen. But he says here, don't let your heart be troubled. If you believe in God, trust in me also. Believe what I'm saying. Now, what is he going to say? He says, "In my Father's house are many rooms, and if it were not so, I would have told you. I am going there to prepare a place for you." This is so awesome. Jesus says, hey, I got something that's even better, that's even greater. And you need to trust me on this, that there's something even greater than this world. You can't see it, but it's there. And he says, I've been there because it's my hometown. And I hang with my homies in my hometown, and that's where I'm from. And so he talks about heaven as it's his home place. Did you notice that? In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I mean, it's like someone saying, it's like you guys saying, hey, dude, this is my dad's house. Come on in. I mean, let me tell you all about it. Like I wouldn't argue with you, because I'd be like, yeah, that's your dad's house, you know? And Jesus is talking this way, like heaven to him is so normal. It is such a place of normalcy to him and comfort to him, that he's trying to convey that to those that only are seeing the things that are before him. They're not looking up. They're not looking up to the eternal. But instead all they're seeing is the temporal, the things that are before them. And we get into habits like that, where we look just to the temporal and we don't see the eternal. See, God's got a plan. God's got a purpose. And it might be different from what you think. And as you put your faith in him and as you trust him, he'll guide your steps. He'll open up the path for you. And he will light that path as you take those steps forward in faith, as you trust him. But it's when you get too focused on the temporal that all of a sudden the path becomes distracted and things cover it up and you can't see, and you start getting lost into all the other distractions that are around you, right? And you're not trusting what God has said. See, Jesus has said he's got a place for you. Do you trust that? Do I trust that? Does he have a better place for you? The answer is, he says, yes, I got a better place for you. He says, I am going there to prepare that place for you. Isn't that amazing? He's preparing. What is Jesus doing? He's preparing a place for you. Now, I want you just to get an idea of what was going on in this time. When people would get married, When someone became betrothed, or what you would think of as engaged, that husband would go back to his dad's place, and the dad and him would build a place for that bride to be. He's engaged, the son's engaged. He can't wait till his wedding day, but before he gets married, he builds a chamber, a place for him. He prepares the place for the bride. And so what Jesus says is, I'm going to prepare a place for you. And you know what that means is he sees you intimately. He loves you intimately. He knows you intimately. He knows your needs. And he's saying, hey, I got all the things you need here. Just put your trust in me. So no matter what you're going through, the difficult times, especially everything that's going on in our world today and in the professional world that we all are in, we have no clue what's going to happen next. None of us do. It's also unpredictable. But you know what is very predictable? Jesus. Jesus' words. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And his promises stand. You can count on that.
Thanks, Beau. As always, a great chapel from you. Thank you so much. Do you believe in God? Do you have faith in God? Do you have faith in God? Do you believe in him? Do you trust him? Well, they all sound like the same words, but I think there might be a little bit of a nuance. The story goes something like this. There was a daredevil, and he was doing the tightrope walk across Niagara Falls. And so he's doing the tightrope walk across the falls, and he comes back, and he does, he sits on the chair, and he does all these goofy things, and the crowd, to the amazement of the crowd, and he gets back over to the crowd, and he says, "Who believes I could take a human being, a live person, across this tightrope to the other side? Who believes I could do that?" And they go, "Yeah, you could do that. Great, you believe I could do that? Yeah, we believe it. Okay, who'll be the guy? Who's the volunteer? Anyone?" Yeah, not a lot of volunteers. Because sometimes it's easy to say, "Yeah, we believe. Yeah, we believe you could do it. All right, if you believe I can do it, then, get on my shoulders." I don't know about that. I sort of believe, but I don't trust. And sometimes we're like that with God. It is the right word, belief and faith and trust. They really all mean the same thing, but sometimes our belief, our faith in him is borderline meaningless. What he wants is, do you trust me? Do you trust me to get you from here to there, even in troubling times? Then take my hand, get on my back, trust me. Don't just believe I exist, that's a good start, but trust me in your everyday life. Trust me to do what I say I'm going to do. Trust me with your eternity and your life today and every moment in between. I hope you do that. I'm praying that I do that as well, but it's a good word. Thank you again, Beau. Thank you for everyone who joined us. If you want more information on Hockey Ministries International, check out the link below. See you next time.